All right, Martha Ford made some news over the last hour and some change. One of the things she said that she was not selling the Detroit Lions to Jeff Bezos. He is the owner of Amazon, if you didn't know, or anybody else, according to Rod Wood. And also, she decided that Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia will come back next season. I'll link articles in the description under article link for both of those links. All right. Let's talk a little bit about Bob and Matt being back. I don't think nobody's surprised. Nobody's surprised. Jim Caldwell got, sent out of here for 9-7, and 9-7 ain't good enough. He goes 6-10, and now he got three wins. Matt Patricia going to the last 2 weeks of the season. The roster lacks talent from top to bottom. I mean, we can go through the misses. Bob Quinn missed that right tackle, Rick Wagner. He missed with T.J. Lane. He did okay with Graham Glasgow and Ragnow. He missed with Taylor Decker. He missed with a lot of running backs. Keeping Kerryon Johnson too long, keeping Theo Reddick too long. Hockenson didn't produce his year one. And he gave all that money to Jesse James, and he ain't produced nothing or got an opportunity to produce. Justin Coleman, one of the worst defenders in coverage. He was the worst defender in coverage this year. Trey Flowers injured. He was okay, but he didn't have a Khalil Mack impact or Von Miller impact like his money indicated he would. Damon Harrison, he really been trash this year. Mike Daniels, I understood that, but was what it was. Jared Davis, he sucked. Tease Tabor finally got cut. Rashad Melvin, solid. Got rid of Quadre Diggs. That sucked. Tavon Wilson sucked. Tracy Walker been all right. And, Will Harris, he ain't no starter in this league yet. So you can go talk about the misses with Bob Quinn. And one of the heartbreaking things about them bringing Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia back is the fact that the roster is perfectly made and perfectly ready for somebody to come in and rebuild it. And all Matt Patricia and Bob Quinn going to do is go out there and mess it up some more, in my opinion. I could be wrong. And she says that their expectation is to make the playoffs next year. And she told Bob and Matt that. And, that's the expectation. And I don't think that's good enough. Because Caldwell made the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? He still got fired. And then had another winning record. That's not good enough. They need to be able to advance in the playoffs. Home game. Win a playoff game. Just make it to the playoffs. That's not good enough. And that's what's wrong with this retarded, this whole situation, organization. They think too small. Oh, just make the playoffs. Like, we don't want to just make the playoffs. We want to win. We want to win. And I can't fault nobody who go out there and say, I can't support this franchise no more. Because the majority of the people that support this franchise, we grew up in Detroit. You know what I'm saying? We grew up in Detroit. We was raised in Detroit, we just grew up in Michigan, and they were our hometown team. We don't support them because Barry Sanders or because of Calvin Johnson or nothing like that. We support them because, we grew up in this city. And right now, ownership is the biggest problem. What's going on with these major Detroit teams? And there's no way that Matt Patricia should be back. In all honesty, he should have been fired last season. But we know what that's about. We know what it's about for them securing Matt Patricia and Bob Quinn. We know what that's about. And that's the God honest truth. They got the complexion for the selection or the complexion for the protection. That's it. People say, well, Jim Caldwell wasn't fiery enough. He didn't manage games the right way. You tell me what Matt Patricia done right. You tell me what he's done right. Nothing. He ain't managed the game the right way. His defense sucked. Jim Caldwell's defense was way better under Terrell Austin, with and without Ndamukong Suh, I believe. He not fiery. He don't go after the refs. So everything people said Caldwell wasn't, neither is Matt Patricia, and he a lot less. Bob Quinn, he don't know nothing about football, bro. He don't know nothing about football. We know the history of tight ends. It takes tight end a little bit to 2 or 3 years to get acclimated. And they know they were going to. Martha not going to fire them because she don't know where to turn that to get a new hire. I just pray she just get out the way. She step down or whatever happens with her. And her kids do the right thing and sell this franchise. But you know what? You blame the fans. I'm sorry. You blame the fans that go down there and buy these season tickets and buy the Coca-Colas, the Sprites, and the foam fingers and the jerseys, and they enable this behavior. If you don't go down there and don't spend no money, that's the best protest you can do. If the game's blacked out, so be it. If they blacked out, get an NFL Sunday ticket or watch another team. It don't make no sense. Every year in the offseason is hope. Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia haven't developed young players. They haven't developed them. And don't say Deshaun Hand. He came in pretty good. Kenny Galladay, they developed him. He probably going to be good anyway. They trading off players. And this got to be a punch in the gut to players still on this team. It got to be a punch in the gut. You got to sit through another year of being here. Another year of a guy ripping you who ain't done nothing in this league. Another guy that think he built Belichick times 10 and ain't did nothing. I know Darius Slay crossing his fingers he get out of there. I know Darius Slay crossing his fingers he get out of there. You know? But, hey, it is what it is. It doesn't surprise me. And I really don't have a problem. As long as Martha Ford is still the owner of the Detroit Lions, I don't have a problem. I don't. Because she's not going to get the right guys in there anyway. But, you know, already we'll see how the offseason go, but I ain't buying it. I'm not buying no season tickets, not buying no tickets, no nothing. They terrible, man. And the fans go down there every year and believe and believe and believe. And I feel bad for the guys like Matthew Stafford, Darius Slay. I feel bad for those guys that been a part of this franchise and, you know, played very, very well, but didn't get the notoriety or the credit because this franchise has shackled their career. They got the numbers, you know, and all that other stuff, but you don't have nothing else. They can't win. They don't get an opportunity to be on the playoff stage or the national TV stage enough for people to get to know their name. And guy like Glover Quinn as well, too. Calvin Johnson should go down as the best receiver in football if they put a winning team around him. They didn't. And now you got Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia going to get another year. So all they're going to do is rush and spend a ton of money in free agency, trying to do a quick fix, and they're going to mess up the cap. So the next person to come in going to have to deal with terrible contracts and do it that way. All Martha Ford did was put unnecessary pressure on them to spend money, mess up the cap, and we'll see what happens. Yeah, you know, next year as a Lion fan, I don't care if it's a lockout because the team not going to be good anyway. But, yeah, they said she's not selling the team to Jeff Bezos. As I figured, she said the team been in her family for 60 years, and for 60 years we ain't won nothing. I wish they get this team up. But, really, they what's wrong with Detroit sports right now. It's not the Pistons, it's not the Tigers, it's not the Wings. Each one of them had championship runs and been very, very successful in latter years. The Lions have not been successful. They haven't. Rod Wood, why is he there? He doesn't know nothing about football. Nothing. Matt Patricia, nobody likes him. Bob Quinn, apparently a lot of Jay Spillane, the old practice squad receiver, said nobody like him, but she ain't selling the team. I don't think it comes to nobody's surprise that Matt Patricia, Bob Quinn, and she not selling the team. It is what it is. This lady probably don't even know how to sign her name. You know what I'm saying? She don't even know how to sign her name. Somebody else probably got POA over her and signed a name for her. But it's terrible. Crying Lion fan. That's what we should call ourselves. Because ain't no relief coming. No relief coming. You got Tweedledum and Tweedledummer and Tweedledumbest and just dumber. All four of them terrible. You know what I'm saying? And I understand why a lot of the people around, I see the older men around the city and older women around the city switch to Packer and Bear fans and Cowboy fans. It's because the Fords. How do they even make money at Ford Motor Company is a question. And, you know, I know they got like the cheapest cars and all that, but the way they running this business, it got to be somebody else running the Ford. But they is total idiots. From the old man to the old woman, you know, they idiots. You know, how you not being able to run a successful football team? They barely won a successful car company, but hey, that's another conversation for another day. Let me know what you guys think. Don't forget we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Reach out to the email if you got business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video requests. Keep sharing the videos. Want to make a donation? Best way to do that is share the video with the link in the description. Hey, let me know what you guys think about Martha gonna keep the team and Martha keeping Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia. I don't think nobody is surprised. And you know what? Do you believe that Matt Patricia and Bob Quinn gonna get it together, or you figure it's gonna be another terrible season? But I think making the playoffs shouldn't be the ultimate goal. It should be winning a playoff game and advancing. But hey, it's my opinion. Appreciate the love, support. Keep sharing the videos. Let me know what you guys think about Martha's decision. One time.